your before and after. So setup, like I said, very, very good. Posture's really good for a tall guy, okay? A little bit closer to it, okay? We're not getting too low with the hand. That's sort of a thing of the past now. I think posture is always something that tall people will always have to be aware of, and short people for that matter, but the taller we are, the more emphasis I think needs to be taken, because it just, the angle's obviously a greater angle being made with the spine angle there, okay? So, but overall setup's looking good. Takeaway for me now as we take the golf club back. Club's going back. So we go there. Club's going back. Nice. Just a little bit inside on the right hand side, but your arms nicely into your chest. I like that. It's a nice connected backswing. Club's looking good. Top of the backswing. Good. Top of the backswing. Good. Yes, if you're being critical, it's slightly across the line, but it's not as if it's like killing you and so on. It's not as if it's 40 yards right. That for me is more, I think, of a characteristic of your golf swing than. And again, if I said to you, I got yourself laid off, I think you'd probably get worse shots, because what would happen is the more laid off you get across here, the more you're going to want to do this and come over the top. So the more you come this way, the more natural transition on the way down it's going to be. Now if we watch your left hand one, again I'll send this through to you, but I'll just do it here. There's kind of your first move. That's quite a big shoot over the top. The club's almost sort of dissecting the side of your neck there on the right hand side there, so a very steep angle. Club's coming down very steep, comparable to on the right there. That's slightly different, isn't it? That club's working now more down that sort of plane angle, should we talk about, and a lot of that's going to come from the club face. If the club face gets open, you have to resort to this one on the left hand side to get the ball to start somewhere towards target. If you come on the inside with an open club face, the ball just goes to the right, and your recovery of that is, I'll just chuck it over the top and start it further left. Sometimes then when you try and square the club face and also come over the top, therein lies your low smothery one, probably more so I'd say with longer clubs when you've got less loft in your hands, the drivers, the woods and so on, and the longer irons, okay? Then as you come in the golf ball here now, if we look at this sort of next few frames back, just look at the club relative to your body, how on the right, so much closer into your knees there, It's down the target line. Yes, the one on the left hand side is down the target line, but it is somewhere. If your club's out here, Brian, the only way to get the golf ball is now going to restrict and lift, which is going to give you that kind of steep angle. Exactly. Makes it very difficult to the golf ball. So coming from there on a better angle, and you can see a nice kind of shift of weight on that right hand side. I mean, great follow through there. Okay, weight shifted there nicely. Okay, that on the left hand side, it was okay. Could have been better, but when you come a little bit steep, as we say, and you're recovering, very often if your arms are going one way and your body's trying to go another way, your balance will be affected, and therefore you can't quite make that fuller movement. You said in the past when you played some of your best golf, you double your feet together, because you can't do this because you've got less power. You have to sort of just go doink, doink, doink around your body. Now, yes, okay, you probably strike it quite good, but you might be a bit limited on your power. Now, if you're playing really bad and you're striking it way across the ball and losing a lot of energy, hitting it 100% with a full width of stance and sliding across the golf ball and hitting it maybe 60% distance is going to be exactly the same as standing with your feet together, swinging kind of 60% power, but hitting at 100%. It's going to go the same kind of distance, So when you're really struggling, yes, it's a go-to, a fail-safe, or whatever you want to talk about. But in terms of the actual movement, if we can get that sensation from the top of the backswing here now, like holding the tree at the top, palm comes down, okay? So this movement here now, the palm's going to come down. When the arms drop, if the arms drop and you pull this way and the club face gets open, then you start twisting, Brian, the face is left wide open, and then you've got to do this rolling with the forearm, which we see a lot of guys think they need to do, when in actual fact we don't want to be rolling the arm. We just hinge the wrist here and come back the golf ball this way. If I was going to low five somebody, if their palms are, I'm going to go back in, my wrist would kind of hinge this way and just go and slap them palm to palm. I wouldn't go and try and twist it in that way, okay? Again, I wouldn't have a locked arm to have no power. I still get hinge, and so I'm doing this kind of more with the wrist rather than this sort of corkscrewing that we see a lot of guys try and create in. If you ever feel the need, you've got to corkscrew their arms to square the club face up, you've opened the face on the way back or on the way down, and you're trying to recover that. When you're playing well, you time it nicely, Brian, but when it's not quite so good, it's just, and you don't know where it's going to go. One hole might go way left, one hole might go way right, and it's a bit of a guess, obviously, isn't it? So that kind of makes sense?
Yeah,